Well, everyone, I am officially back in Texas, and tonight I'm going to be at this water body here looking for some cool water snakes. Actually, there's an endemic species in this area that I'm hoping to see, and I haven't seen it in a while. So I'll get to searching once night falls, and I'll let you know if we see anything. Oh my gosh, there is our target. A baby Brazos water snake. This is the first one I've seen in like 2 years. That is so cool, and in situ right there. Okay, this harteri is just chilling right here on this little rock. I'm not gonna mess with it because they're actually a protected species in Texas. They're pretty endangered and very limited to this area. It's so cool. We got some pictures and we'll just leave them here. Right in there, there's a little rhombifer, a little bit bigger than the harteri we just saw. We'll also leave that one right there. There's another little rhombifer going down into the water there. Okay, we got a little plain-bellied water snake over here. He just dipped down. So that's the third Nerodia species of the night. Oh, he's coming over here. All right, right here is a little slightly bigger rhombifer than the ones we're seeing tonight. He's just down here cruising around hunting for fish. Okay, up there we've got a rough green snake. Probably not the only one of the night. They're pretty common around here, so I'll just leave that one there. Here's another rough green snake, a little closer, easier to video. It's in this little switchgrass plant here. There's rough green number 3. There's number 4. A little active now. And there's number 5, sleeping in the tree there. So up here, we've got rough green number 6 and number 7 way up there. And there is rough green number 8, sleeping in the Johnson grass, invasive species. Oh my gosh! There's a harteri right there. There's another harteri right there. There's 2 in this little bush. That's insane.
And they're not babies. Well,
yeah,
small,
I mean, yeah, like sub-adult, I guess, or juveniles. That's insane. Okay, so that is a harteri.
I don't see it.
There's a rhombifer back there, another harteri here, and then I just saw the head of an erythro. It might have dipped. But all 3 species are in this little bush here. Okay, so one of the harteri dipped. There's one that was further down back there, and there's the erythro right next to it. Both species are right there. Okay, so we left this brush pile alone for a while, and that one that was up there just came right back. He's just chilling up here now, and we'll still leave him there, but that is so awesome. All right, here's another harteri, number 4 of the night. Definitely bigger and a different one. That is so cool. Let's get some in situs first. Okay, we got some pictures. We'll give it some space because it's moving around a bit. But what an awesome night this has been. Well, I just looked out into this brush pile and there's 2 more harteri there. What is going on right now? So what is that? 5 and 6 of the night? Insane.
Yeah, 5 and 6.
Wow. Okay, so there's those 2. And that one just swam by. It might be one we saw earlier. Not too sure, but that just goes to show how everywhere they are tonight. All right, right here we got an erythro. Oh, he's about to dip. There he goes.
That was very graceful.
Yeah. Well, last night was absolutely amazing with all those 6 Brazos water snakes we saw. Tonight, I'm at another creek in search of another water snake species. This one is actually an introduced species. Right over there, there's actually a plain-bellied water snake down there. That's not the one I'm looking for. So as it gets darker, I'll continue to search for that species. Okay, well, I had to pick it up, but here it is. That's my target, Nerodia cipodon. This one's just a baby. And actually down there, there's a second one poking his head out of the rock. 2 cipodon. And here in DFW, Nerodia cipodon is a non-native species. They were introduced here, I think, in the early 2000s or something for some unknown reason. I don't know. I think someone dumped their pets here or something, which doesn't really make sense. Why would you have a pet cipodon? Anyway, they've established at this creek over here, and they're pretty common around here. This is the first cipodon I've managed to get in hand in DFW. So I've still got this little cipodon in hand. It looks like that one that was peeking out is starting to emerge now. I see some of his pattern down there. His head was just poking out. I'll let this guy go and then see if I can get a grab on this bigger one. Alright, gonna leave this little guy back to foraging for little fish and whatnot. Let's see if I can track down that bigger one. Alright, success. I was able to track down that bigger one. It gave me a ton of nibbles. Did not feel too great. Oh, don't do it again. But yeah, these guys are pretty interesting that they're here. I believe by the band count, they're actually considered northern water snakes, which is even weirder. Historically, Texas has had midland water snakes in the northern parts of Texas, but these guys are most definitely introduced. Okay, I just finished up my photography session with this guy and he's gone. There he goes. Well, it seems like there's baby Sipodon everywhere here. There's one there, and I literally just walked by this one basking. 2 baby Sipodon right next to each other. The way you can tell these are Sipodon is in the front. Those blotches go all the way. It only turns broken blotches in the back. And a plain bellied, it would be pretty broken all the way to the front. But definitely the easiest way is to just look at the belly. And these are most definitely not plain bellied. They've got some little triangles and stuff, some orange coloration. That definitely means they're Sipodon. Might also be worth noting that I'm using the term non-native here. I don't know if anyone's looked to see if these guys are detrimental to the ecosystem around here, but I highly doubt it. They're just limited to this one drainage area, and there's plenty of erythrogaster and rhombifer around, so they don't seem to be outcompeting them. I will let these 2 guys go back to doing their thing. Okay, well, I'm trying to get down to the creek down there, but I look over here. There's a huge erythrogaster just basking right there. That is awesome. I'll see if I can get down. Okay, I found a better way down. Here's that big erythrogaster. You can see those little white blotches on the back. So you know it's not Sipodon. I'll leave this one right there. Okay, out there we have a Graham's crayfish snake way back in the reeds. That's actually my 4th ever Regina Grahamii. We'll see if we can get it out, but that might be the best look we're gonna get. We did manage to get it down. There it is, a Graham's crayfish snake, my 1st of the year, and potentially not even the last of the night. They're pretty common at this spot. Last time I came here I saw 3, so hoping for some more. Very cool belly pattern on this guy. Got some photos and let him go. Surprisingly, this guy is chilling out right here, so I'll get some photos and let it go pretty soon. Keep looking. Well, today I'm out trying to complete the Nerodia Grand Slam for North Texas. Try to find a banded water snake. But here under this board, just flipped a Decay's brown snake. I'll leave him right there, but good start to the day. Hopefully we get that Nerodia. Okay, I just flipped this board, and there it is. A broad-banded water snake in North Texas. The last of the 5 Nerodia species for this video. Let's go. Here in late summer, it truly is baby snake season, especially baby Nerodia season. I think all 5 of the Nerodia species we've also seen babies of them. Just super cool. And this guy was probably born earlier this year, if I had to guess. He's very small. Maybe a yearling, but still very tiny guy. I'm so happy to see him. So working in North Carolina, we would see a lot of these Nerodia fasciata, but it's a completely different look over there. There are different species, in fact. Here it's the broad-banded water snake. You can see those bands are super wide compared to the very thin bands on the East Coast. And these guys are, in general, a lot more colorful, especially in North Texas here. These stunning orange, yellows, reds, and blacks. So much contrast. I love this species. So this board I had originally laid out to look for smallmouth salamanders, and I'll probably come back in the winter to check on them, but I'm glad this guy was using them, so I'll let him go back under the board. Well, hello there. It's an armadillo rummaging about. Not a care in the world as usual. Oh! All right then.